Introducing the first interviewee from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, weighing in at 244 pounds, the in-ring voice of AAPW Rising, Brett Halverson. And introducing the final interviewee from Tyler, Texas, weighing in at 205 pounds, representing Muscle Media, wrestling's finest feminist, RDB!
Yeah, you got a problem with this shirt? Well, if you do, guess what? You're gonna feel the beat. For real, for real.
Now introducing your interviewer, recording out of the AAPW Arena in Austin, Texas, the host of the Morning Brew Podcast, Kayla Kitagawa!
What's up, guys? Thanks for joining, and thank you, Pops, for letting us use the ring. This is super cool. Let's start with names and what you guys do.
So I'll go first. I'm RD Beatz, wrestling's finest feminist, master of all media, world's greatest DJ, and the aggressive progressive.
My name is Brett. I am the in-ring announcing voice of AAPW Rising.
Okay, so guys, tell me about your wrestling persona.
I'll let you take this one, Beats.
Here's how I always saw it in wrestling. I think the best personas in wrestling are just your personality, but times 10. And I think that's no more evident than the character that I am doing right now. So I started off as strictly a DJ because I needed something that's like easily identifiable and something that the fans can recognize. After a while, I guess like most characters in media or storytelling, you add layers on top of it. And because I mean that's what's cool about this is that you're basically telling your own story. No one is telling me to do anything that I'm currently doing. I mean what you're getting is it's a character, but it's 100% authentic.
And kind of just to piggyback off of what you were saying, I mean, as being an in-ring personality in the sense of just announcing, again, it very much is turning who you are and what you bring up that level. So if you meet me on the streets or anything like that, I'm normally very like level. But if you catch me announcing someone as wrestling's finest feminist to the ring, it's amplified, as you heard in the beginning. That's not my normal voice. That's just me when I'm doing the introductions.
So as far as the outfits,
gear is a good way
as far
to
as
refer
gear
to them.
goes, I've seen in the photographs around here and in the music video some of this. How do you decide on what kind of gear matches your character and what you're gonna kind of stick with?
I'll kind of start as someone who's still figuring that out. It really is along those same lines as like being true to yourself and establishing what you want your persona, character, gimmick to look like and feel like. The one that I'm currently workshopping is like an 80s rock star. So in the music video that we did with Mickey and the Doom, I was in jorts with like a chain, so trying to find things along those lines that fit me that I don't feel like I don't feel awkward in, but I stand out in.
Okay.
And I agree. I mean, your gear should definitely reflect your character, and like that could be pretty much anything. I guess for me, since I started off as the DJ, like I needed something very like techno / EDM like, and in the beginning my gear was very simple because I just needed something serviceable. I just came out there in like plain like baby blue orange trunks and white boots and white knee pads. And then over time I was able to upgrade, and now I've got like a Tron aesthetic. So now it's like,
The shorts are shiny now, right?
yeah. So now it's like, now it's black and like a very bright neon electric blue, and but yeah, gear is very very important for sure, because I mean that's one of the first, other than the music, that's the first thing you see when you see a wrestler before they lock up or get in the ring and wrestle.
Okay, that kind of leads into my next question, because we just did our super cool intros in dead silence. And it was supremely awkward for me.
Yeah, it was.
So my question was, how do you sort of get into character before a match? Is it when the music starts? Is it when you put the gear on? Do you have like a little ritual?
Oh, well, I mean, I can tell you that pretty much starting when I wake up on the day of showtime, I'm already nervous. I mean, because I'm still thinking about my match and like what to do, and so like right from the get-go. And then when I get to the venue, go over a match, whatever, I just get more and more nervous, and just because there's so many emotions going through my head, and so many things I got to think about and consider, and yeah, and I'd say right before I go through that curtain, that's when the butterflies really start acting up. but like at that point, like I'm in the zone, so I hear my music playing, and I hear the crowd, and like, granted, like, we're not performing in front of like thousands of people, so, but still, like, even for a venue like this, like, I still like, I feel like a star when I come through the curtain, and yeah, my character takes over, and then yeah, I'm in the zone.
As someone who doesn't really get the aspect of having like intro music or anything, because being here in the ring as the announcer, I'm kind of I look at it as like a roadie position for a band. Basically you show up and no one's supposed to know you're there until you're there, and then you leave. So you're there. So very much the same way on show days, I am nervous as all get out, trying to prep myself mentally for calling, a 9-match card, 8-match card, whatever it may be. And it literally, for me, it's the moment I step into the AAPW arena, I get in the ring, and it's the first time I look at the crowd before the camera is even on, and telling them at the top of my lungs, all right, when you see me get on the mic, I need you to get loud. We're going to test it out. 1, 2, 3. And the moment I hear that first eruption of the crowd getting loud, everything snaps into place, and I'm ready to go for the night. So I feed off of that energy that they give me, and that brings me to that center of, all right, I can do this. And then I try not to vomit when the camera's off and everybody leaves.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so Brett, as the announcer, you have your own kind of headspace to get into. But once you're there, is there anything that you sort of do to help the wrestlers kind of get into their headspace when you're doing their intros?
Doing best not to mess their names up.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, get her names right.
You ever hit the Adele Dazeem?
Yeah, no, it's one of those moments where I have to, as the announcer, as much as their music hits, as much as they step through that curtain, if I sit there and go, introducing to the ring, from Tyler, Texas, weighing in at 205 pounds, wrestling's finest feminist, Artie Beatz. If I do that, they have to work like 20,000 times harder just to get it over. Yeah. But the moment you put on, introducing first, from Tyler, Texas, weighing in at 205 pounds, the crowd's already getting amped. They're getting ready. They already know what's coming. And as soon as the beat drops or the music hits or they step through that curtain, they take it from there.
I can vouch for the fact that it made me feel cool. So I very clearly am not super familiar with wrestling. So for people listening or watching that are unfamiliar, how would you describe wrestling to them?
Do you mind if I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, because I mean, I was a fan since I was knee high to a grasshopper. It was something that.
Why you sound like a Southerner?
Yeah, now I sound some Southern gig. All right. Anyways, no.
Heard that in my
But since I was little, it was something that was always kind of taboo to me. So I would sneak it. and I wouldn't get to really watch. So I didn't get to know about it really until I got older. And for me, for someone who may not know what wrestling is or anything like that, they have lots of assumptions and predetermined notions about what it is or what it isn't. What I like to kind of explain when I'm talking to somebody about it is it's live action, stunt work, soap opera. You have characters, stories, and everything that's being done in the ring is real. It's going to hurt the next day. Like, there isn't anything that you're not gonna feel. But the live action stunt work aspect of it is everything is live. It's being done in that moment. It's being brought to life and given breath as it's happening. And that's the magic of seeing it. You can suspend that disbelief and go, holy crap, what did I just see?
I like what you said there, and no, I'll tell you how I got into it. My very first exposure was playing one of the video games. It was seriously, it was WWF Warzone for the Nintendo 64, and I remember that iconic image of like this bald redneck who I've later become a huge fan of, Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's, I mean, if you don't know who Stone Cold Steve Austin is like a legend in the business. I mean, I could go on and on about how great he is, but yeah, that was my first exposure, was playing the video games and creating my own wrestler, because you could do that back then, and back then not very many video games would allow you to create your own character. Like nowadays, it's like super duper common to do that, but yeah, and then soon after I found out that my dad was a big wrestling fan when he was younger, and he would tell me stories of him when he lived in Dallas back when the Von Erichs were performing. Yeah, I was hooked, because to me it was the realest thing on TV, and I say that because I'm sure, like you you had kids back in the day who would say, "Oh, you know it's fake, right?"
Every day.
But when I was a kid, I never saw it that way, and like other kids would be like, "Oh, so you think it's real?" And I'm like, "Well, no, because when I think fake, I think of, like, back then anyways, I thought like cartoons or anything like animated,
Right.
because there's nothing fake about what we do in this ring. I mean, what you're seeing is actually happening. Because yeah, fake would imply that what you're seeing is not actually happening, but no, we're actually hitting the mat. We're actually hitting each other. You know, there's no, you can't fake gravity. You know.
You should see people's chest after chops, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's like that's all real, and like even with the promos, like, again, like, no one's telling me to say what to say at all. Yeah, so I mean, I don't really get like offended really when people say it's fake or whatever, but they're just wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, they're the ones that look stupid, because trust me, no matter what you think about this, like anyone who's ever watched a show, or better yet, showed up live to see it in person live, everyone has always had a good time. I mean, because yeah, like I said, there's nothing else like this on TV, and like, other than like, you know, like competitive sports like football, basketball, etc. Like this is the realest thing on TV, for sure, for real.
And if you want to come down and see it, Thursdays for our Rising shows and Saturdays for our Heatwave shows, starting January 3rd here at the AAPW Arena. Live sports entertainment, wrestling, in your face. You're going to love it.
And you did it like a drag wrestling thing recently, right?
The Slam and Glam, yes, that was to celebrate the owner's birthday. And it's one of the biggest shows that we put on here at the AAPW Arena.
Yeah, we have a couple like throughout the year.
Yeah. But that's always a fun one. It's that high impact wrestling followed by amazing drag performances.
That's a fire combo.
It is the best.
I can vouch. The stunts are real. I don't know if I sent it to you. There's a video when we were filming for Mickey's music video where you did like that flip thing. I don't know the term. This thing you showed me earlier.
Oh, you were testing out the ring.
I was calling it a death drop, but that's the dance term.
Yeah, no, I was testing out the ring before I did anything in there.
Yeah, I got that accidentally on video and immediately turned the camera to me because I thought you like died, and I was like, oh my God, we don't have paramedics on. But I'll send the video and I'll put it somewhere so people could see. But the stunts are real.
Yeah.
I've seen them in person. And since these stunts are real, how do you train for something like that? Tell me about AAPW.
Beats, you wanna?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, like anything, yeah, you start from the ground up. So like pretty much on day one, Pops wanted to test us cardio wise.
Oh boy.
So I mean, yeah, and I remember he told me and pretty much everyone who signs up here that if you're gonna start wrestling training, like please work on your cardio. And I thought I was ready for day one. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be. Keep in mind, I did not think this was gonna be easy at all, but I thought at the very least I could get through like the cardio stuff on first couple of days. No, not really. I mean, but that's what happens when you dedicate most of your diet and exercise to working out instead of cardio.
Just on strength training.
Yeah, lifting weights. But no, on day one, Pops took us all, my class anyways, took us back to that practice ring over there, and he kind of gave us the old speech of if you want to minimize injuries, then you want to stay loose, not tense up. But yeah, he Pops, and I'm sure most, if not all, wrestling schools do this, but they teach us how to do the break falls. And yeah, you just start simple. You start from your back, and you just tack the mat. Always make sure that your chin is tucked, so like that. So that way the back of your head doesn't hit the mat because it hurts.
As a person that has racked their head on the mat, your whole brain gets rattled.
Sounded
and it
like it hurt.
sucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, CTE is no joke for sure. I mean, fingers crossed that I, have a healthy brain by the time I'm 60, 70 years old. But yeah, and then from there, it's more about like breaking your fears. Then at that point, then footwork and positioning. Then that becomes important. All of our matches, like where we are in the ring, matters for a multitude of reasons. And then from there, like after like footwork and all that, then you kind of start learning like how to do the actual like moves, like where to base, like timing, and where to place your hands, like how to land, et cetera, et cetera. Then once you start getting comfortable with the moves, then you start kind of developing a move set. And this kind of goes a little more into character work, because that can affect what moves you can and can't do. And sometimes there are moves that you can do and that you shouldn't do. But but that's a whole other conversation.
Do you guys have a favorite move, or like one that makes you feel really cool?
Yeah, actually.
Tell me more.
So in one of the classes where we were learning moves, we got to be taught different styles of suplexes. And I think the one that makes me feel the coolest, the most strongest, the most powerful is the butterfly suplex. It is so fun to give and to take. It just getting something about hooking somebody and getting them over your body, and boom. Nothing really can describe the feeling you get just by tossing somebody.
That's a feeling I kind of want to know, but my legs are stronger than my arms, so I don't know if I could like.
Well, if you want to find out, come to the AAPW arena.
I'm scared.
Talk with Pops. He'll tour you around the facility, ask you some questions, and then you can get in the ring and start to get that experience. You got one, Beats, that you like?
Yeah, I actually got like two different answers. So yeah, I mean, my favorite moves to see or to watch is anytime someone gets on the top rope and they fly off.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, because where else can you do that? Like whether it's like a splash or
Crossbody.
crossbody.
You can do that in Mickey's video.
Or a swanton bomb. I mean, it's all fun. Now that I'm doing this, I can tell you that going up to the top, but there's a reason why they call it a high risk maneuver. It's because it can hurt you just as much as it can hurt your opponents. So my favorite move to do, honestly, I've always been a fan of just a really good punch.
Brett, you are currently learning some cool stuff.
Yes.
What is the learning curve like?
Ridiculous.
I believe that.
To kind of go off of what Beat said, I didn't think coming into this it would be easy by any means. I remember I originally started training here 6 years ago before I had life get in the way and had to step away. And I remember first day of cardio coming in and literally being able to do maybe, 10 minutes of it before feeling like I needed to faint and puke all at the same time. It's something that if you're doing it just because you think it will be fun, you're going to have difficulties. It's going to be hard, and it's really going to affect you in a way that makes you feel like, why am I doing this? And you might leave, or you might stay and get past it, but 9 times out of 10 a lot of people leave. When I came in, I was in a class of 4. There's only 2 of us now.
Oh,
And that was within the first week and a half of being here.
Yeah, in my class, I started with 9.
And how many?
And it's just me and one other person.
oh boy.
It weeds out the people that aren't really in it. But if you come in with a desire and a want to do this, it may take you a second to get that, as Pops would call it, light bulb moment that, clicks in your head and goes, oh, so wait, this is how this goes to this. This is how I can do this, It may take a second, but if you really, really want it, and you keep training and you keep showing up to class and you keep really pushing for it, it's something that you could go anywhere with. And it doesn't just improve on your skills in the ring or on, doing a promo or talking, but it really just improves you as a person, because you will prove to yourself that you can do so many things that you were either scared of, thought you could never do. Literally learning to fall in a way that protects you, your instant reaction is going to reach back. And that is how people get hurt, get broken fingers, arms, wrists, all that stuff. So you have to train your mind to be okay knowing that you're going to take care of yourself.
Yeah, trust your body.
Yeah.
And the training as well.
Yeah. And it's just something that will give you amazing results, but you have to stick with it. So really that learning curve it's dependent on you, honestly. If it is easy, hard, or where it kind of goes.
That makes sense. There's so much that goes into this. That's like the theatrics, the training, the gear, and then the actual, the stunts. What is your favorite part about this sport?
Yeah, well, since I have the mic, I'll just say what got me into wrestling in general, which is over-the-top characters. Like superheroes brought to life. There's a reason kids gravitate to wrestling so quickly and fall in love with it at such a young age, because you get to watch this person who's larger than life. If you're going back to the 80s, that is like stepping out of a comic book, jacked to ever-loving heck. And they got this personality on him. And, oh, brother, if they start talking, it's one of those things that you just can't get away from. And then as I grew older, the characters got more gritty, or they got more real. Like Stone Cold was this blue-collar guy that hated his boss and wanted to, beat the ever-living crap out of him.
Yeah, and he came at the right place at the right time because that was back when, corporate America was...
It was...
At its most... Well, I can't compare it to today, but back then, anti corporation stuff in TV and movies, it was very popular. So
we came out of the greed is good era and into wait a minute.
Yeah.
But that's what my favorite thing is the characters you get to be, you get to meet, you get to see, because they become rock stars, superheroes. I mean, everything that you could think of as a character, as a person, as a persona, whatever you want to call it, lives in the world of professional wrestling. It is professional wrestling. Without it, it's just people doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite part?
No, you kind of touched upon it a little bit. No, the fact that it's so real, and I said this before, but it is the realest thing on TV for sure. Man, my favorite part about it is, you said the characters, you said the promos and whatnot, but as I got older, I'll say that I grew a more appreciation for the things that the guys would do in the ring. And that's mainly why I came here to train, is to learn the craft, and because I respect what the wrestlers do both inside and outside the ring. Wrestling shows are like, it's like a sporting event and a rock concert, like all wrapped up in one. Like it really is the best of both worlds.
Super cool. We've alluded to this a little bit already, but you guys both are in Mickey and the Dooms music video for H2Ho.
We are.
As some pretty cool wrestling chickens. Do your fellow peers here at AAPW, have they seen that video?
I'm not sure.
So some have for sure. I mean, I don't want to name names, but like one guy did tell me that yeah, Artie Beatz in a chicken mask. Yeah, that checks out. Well, what is that supposed to mean?
I mean, I haven't heard anybody say anything, but for me, just being in that music video was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I used to, when I was in the music scene and I was playing drums, I used to have a 1-foot-tall mohawk, and everybody nicknamed me Rooster. So literally to step in a ring in a rooster mask and be illegal chicken fighting, because I can't say the other word.
I didn't even ask about cursing on this.
It is one of those things where that was a weird experience, and I loved it.
Yeah, that's my other question. So I didn't realize in arriving that you guys were actual wrestlers, because all Mickey said was, yeah, these are the two beefy guys.
Hey,
And I was like,
boys.
sick. All right. And then when you guys went to get into the wrestling gear, I was like, man, how long does it take to like put on a costume? And then you guys came out and I was like, oh shit, they're like actually wrestlers. Like she found actual wrestlers. Like was not expecting that. When you guys got asked about this video, what was it like? What was the experience like for you? Expectation versus reality?
Yes was my immediate answer. I knew nothing. I didn't know the band. I didn't know anything.
You didn't know the song either,
I
right?
didn't know the song. No, there was nothing that I knew about it. And one of the guys who worked on the video reached out to a bunch of people and said, hey, I need some people to do this. And I immediately, within like 2 seconds of seeing that message, said, I'm down. Yes, let's do it. And I didn't know literally until the day of that we would be in chicken masks in a ring, people throwing dollar bills at us. I mean, you were there. But it was such a fun experience that I would do it again in a heartbeat. I would go back and relive that moment. I mean, I still watch the music video every so often
It's
just
so
because
funny.
the lyrics are ridiculous. The concept was insane. It was literally 6 music videos shoved into one. And it was a fun time. Like I can't think of any other way to describe it. And if you ever think Mickey doesn't know how to get things done, she always finds a way, and it's the most magical thing.
No, I was excited. I mean, I've told you this before, but a long time ago, I tried to be a musician for a few reasons. It didn't work out for me. So when I was given the opportunity, we can give a shout out to Dan, can't we? Yeah.
I mean, he was there.
Yeah. Shout out to
What's
Dan.
up, Dan?
Yeah. Shout out to Dan for giving us the opportunity to be in a music video with his association with Mickey. But yeah, I was excited, and I knew Austin-based musician, like I knew it was gonna be weird. But yeah, I mean that just another reason why doing pro wrestling was like one of the greatest decisions of my life, because like I don't think I would have had that opportunity before this.
Memorialized as a chicken flying through the air in slow-mo in shiny shorts.
Yeah, when else could you be a big beefy boy in the ring? I mean,
Literally, like probably the credits are like beefy boy chicken corn.
it's dark meat and white meat.
Is it actually?
That is what we are labeled as.
Yeah.
in the
Who's
credit.
one in dark meat?
I'm the dark meat because I'm in the black chicken mask, and he's the white meat.
Yeah.
In the white chicken mask.
I didn't know that. That's wild. Oh my god. Guys, I do a segment called Artists Ask Artists. And it's like a little daisy chain we got going on, starting back in like January or something, where my former guest has a question for you, and you get to ask a question for my next guest.
Oof, okay.
So on and so forth. So my last guest was my dear friend Elissa, who's a musician. And I told her, I said, I'm interviewing wrestlers. So give me a question that's not about music. And so we kind of touched on this a little bit already. But she says, how did you come up with your persona? Are they like you or the opposite of you? And like, is there a pro or con to either one of those things?
Okay, you know what? It's just interesting you bring that up because, in a way, yeah, because I said earlier that the best characters are the ones that are your real personality.
Right, like
times
you
10.
times 10.
But there is an element of, how should I say this? There is an element of who you are in real life shouldn't reflect what you do as a character. And like, but both can be true. I mean, and we've seen examples of that, like on WWE and AEW and other characters on wrestling TV. With me, are there pros and cons to the character that I play now? Oh yeah, there are pros and cons. Because for a while, like most people, it was just, oh, you just look ridiculous and silly, like you know, shaking your ass and dancing or whatever. But I mean, but hey, I mean, they always tell us be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So
Fair point.
so that became second nature after a while. No, the character, I don't know if you guys see the shirt, but yeah, it says pro-choice, pro-love, pro-science, pro-women. So yeah, so he gets it.
What
so,
he said.
So nowadays I'm making no secret as to where my political views are, and apologies in advance for getting political, but I mean that's what I'm doing now. I mean,
This show supports all of the above.
so yeah, there's definitely pros and cons to what I'm doing right now. That on one side, I'm sure everyone would know, some people are in full support of what I do, and other people not so much. But you know what? That's okay, because this is pro wrestling, and I want you to. I want to hear you people boo and or cheer me. That is why I'm doing this. I mean,
Ain't fair.
hey, most people say keep politics out of blank. No, not me.
So when it comes up to creating personas and everything like we kind of talked on, yes, it's you times 10 or a facet of you times 10. The thing that I'm putting together, I don't mind sharing because it's me, even though it isn't me. There was this quote from Alice Cooper that really stuck with me for some reason. And he basically, to paraphrase, goes on to say that when he is out of makeup, he's just Alice. He's just the dude, you know? But the moment the makeup goes on, he steps into the clothes, he's Alice Cooper, a totally villain of rock and roll. So that stuck with me. And so when I started to create the persona that I am for myself, I wanted something like that. I wanted something that when I'm not here in performance, ready to go, all that kind of stuff, I'm just Brett. I'm just me. I'm an in-ring announcer. I'm, whoever you meet on, Joe Schmo on the street. But I decided to go with the aspect, instead of doing makeup, I'm deciding to put a mask on. So anytime that mask goes over my face, Brett ceases to exist and the character is there.
Superhero.
Essentially, basically,
Peter Parker.
superhero. Yes, I run to a phone booth that doesn't exist anymore and I change. But no, it's one of those things where, yes, it is you. There are pros to being a facet of you, maybe not the whole of you in the character, unless you can pull it off and fully embrace that of yourself. And I've heard in the past, playing someone completely the opposite of you can work the same way, because you get to experience and do things you never would have done as yourself in a safe, controlled environment that allows you to be, if you're this sweet, kind, nice person all the time, being this major dick and just, yelling at everybody, whatever. Or if you are just a major, douche all the time, playing the loving kind of character, kind of, or, that very friendly person. So it gives you abilities to kind of just step into who you are, or who you would want to pretend to be for, a little bit.
That makes a lot of sense. So you guys can now ask anything for my next guest. It could be related to creative processes, or it could be something like actually so random.
I think my question is going to be, what is your favorite Ryan Reynolds movie and why?
All right, well, now is the time we've all been waiting for. Shameless self-promo. Anything personal or professional that you would like to plug?
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, other than what the school that we currently train and perform at, AAPW, America's Academy of Pro Wrestling. You plugged it earlier, but I will plug it again. Yeah, we're coming back January the 8th. Okay. We alternate weeks. So one Saturday we'll do Heat Wave. The next week we'll do Thursday Night Rising, and so forth and so forth. Yeah, I mean, I'll be on the shows. hopefully this year I'll get to be a champion. I'll get to beat somebody for a championship belt.
That's the dream.
Yeah. And I'll plug the school too. So if there's anyone watching this who wants to train or wants to be a wrestler, not just a wrestler, but you can either be ring announcer,
Right.
manager, referee. Like we train everybody for everything. You'll definitely get something out of it if you decide to sign up. But I will say, if you're coming into this, this will be a nice, fun like hobby to do, I wouldn't even bother. Like I said earlier, that this is not easy. Like for all of us, like this is our dream. And for most of us, this is how we make a living. So yeah, we all like take this very, very seriously. At the same time, don't be intimidated, because I've seen people from all shapes and sizes, all backgrounds, all ethnicities, genders, orientations, et cetera, come and do this and have succeeded. So all the more reason of getting in the ring, training, and then making your debut. It's just a great feeling. And for me, like it was such a great feeling when I finally graduated.
Brent, anything you want to plug?
I mean, obviously, it's going to still be the school. Here at 1702 Aldridge Suite A2 in Austin, Texas. I don't want to harp more
Oh, the address, yeah.
for it, but the one thing I really want to push is I don't know what the demographic of your listeners are, but to any females that are out there listening right now, and if you've ever thought about this, please come train, come talk to Pops. It's something that is needed. We need to see a bigger, brighter, more aggressive women's division, just in general. Sorry to, take the wrestling's finest feminist lines right now.
No, you have my approval.
But I want to plug the school for female wrestlers and competitors to come learn, to come grow. You will learn things about yourself. You will prove things to yourself that you never thought you would be able to do. And then at the end of it, after you graduate, going through 20, 30 plus opponents, depending on the night, you get to hold your head up high and say, look at what I've accomplished around me. Look at that. And it's something that's needed. I mean, this school is the longest running school in Texas.
Founded in 1990.
Founded in 1990 by a man by the name of George de la Isla in California. He brought it to Austin. The man had 50 years of professional wrestling experience that he would pass down and train and instill. And one of those trainees was the current owner of the company, Ray Papadon Campos. And he bought it back in 2017 and continued that tradition on. Now, wrestling promotions may pop up and disappear in the blink of an eye, but AAPW has been here the whole time. There hasn't been a moment where it wasn't here. And it has created so many professional wrestlers, so many champions that come out of here. It's where champions are made and you can prove things to yourself that you never knew. People that train here have the foundational knowledge to sit there and go wherever you can get yourself to and beyond. So please, please, please look into the school. We would love to see you. We would love to watch AAPW continue to grow.
Once again, thank you, Pops, for letting us come in here and record in here and use the ring. It's much more bouncy than I anticipated, but it's kind of cool. And thank you guys for joining me. This was very educational and fun.
No, good.
That's a wrap.
All right.
Nailed it.
Wait, no, it's not.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Feel the beat. For real, for real. You guys
For real, for
yeah,
real.
wait, do the
Hold
you
on,
gotta do the pose.
What's the pose?
Teacher.
Yeah.